Did you know that you do not have to exercise to get the results that you want? Did you know that you do not have to exercise to get the results that you want? And I'm not just saying that. I mean, there is something that is much better than exercise that can help your metabolic rate. And for those who struggle with exercising or finding the time to, join a gym membership, get in a car, drive somewhere, and organize their schedule, like this is for you because you're going to want to know this. And if you are someone who exercises, you're going to want to know this also because even if you do exercise, you will still get better metabolic results from doing what I'm going to talk about today. But before I start, please make sure that you like this and that you subscribe to my page because I'm continually getting out information to you that can really change your life. All right. So that is the best thing you can do for me. I ask that you please hit that subscribe button right now. All right, let's get into it. So a lot of people are into exercising, of course. I'm into exercising. I do all kind of exercising. So this is not coming from someone who is just totally against exercising. I love exercising, low intensity, high intensity interval training. I do cardio, I do weightlifting, resistance training, all of that, body weight training. I do boxing classes, cycling classes. I run, I sprint, I walk. I do everything. I'm telling you, I love the diversity of exercising. But the truth is, I have been tracking my biometrics for years, and there is something that gets me much better results than exercising. And even today, I just got done exercising. And when I tell you I did a exhaustive workout, it was a resistance training workout with heavy weights. I mean, I did body weight pull-ups. I did step ups with weights, pull downs. I worked my back out today. I'm feeling it a little bit right now, but I worked my legs out too. So it was a full body training. I did deadlifts. I did lunges with weights. I did some of everything. I did squats, with the barbell. And I ended off with a 20-minute high intensity interval training sprint session. And it lasted today about an hour and a half. And there's benefits to all of that, especially resistance training. I always tell people to build muscle mass. There's benefits to all of it. But even if I track my metrics today with everything that I did, there is still something that gives me much better results. And it was actually shocking to me in the beginning when I started to track my exercising and what I was doing. Now, let's just go ahead and say what it is. And it's very, very simple. It's nothing huge. Movement. That's right. That's it. Movement. And you're probably wondering how in the world can movement outdo like a heavy lifting workout session, a high intensity interval session, sprinting, a UFC boxing class. Like I said, I've tracked everything, running up hundreds of stairs, doing a high intensity boxing class for an hour straight, and still movement throughout the day with no exercise gets me better metabolic results. And what I mean by that is I burn more calories. My activity for the day is much higher. Like it just gives me better results. It puts me in a better metabolic position. And I could just see it from the amount of calories that my body is burning when I'm not even exercising on that day. Now, a lot of times what people do is they'll exercise and then they will not do much throughout the day. Like they might have to go to work. So they're sitting down, they're working, they're on their laptops, or they might be watching TV or they go to the show or whatever. They're not as active. And so when you compare days like those where you do get out and you do exercise and you have a focused session where it's like, I'm going to the gym or I'm going to get on a treadmill or whatever. And then you have these moments where you're like sitting down working or you're having meetings or you are maybe sitting down reading or watching TV or just something that's causing you to be more sedentary the rest of the day. It's like the exercise is good, but it will never get you the type of results that movement throughout the day gets you. And what I mean by that is that when there are days where I am just moving, and I'm just going to give you an example of what that could look like. I, wake up, I'm moving around. I got to wash clothes. So I decide that I'm going to wash some clothes. My closet is looking a little messy. I'm like, okay, it's time to organize this closet. Oh, my son, I have to take them to school or bring them back. And then I have to go and maybe take my son to a basketball game or a football game or something. And then maybe I have an appointment with my daughter to go to gymnastics. And then maybe we stop and, go to the mall or whatever. It's just something where you're on the go. Those days where you're just on the go and you're moving. So days like those, I started years back. I would look at my results and I'm like, wow, why did I burn way more calories? Why is my activity like so much better for the day? And even more so than on days that I'm doing like sprinting and just all out. And, I'm doing a 50-minute cycling class nonstop, going up hills, everything. And like I said, sometimes those days you stop and you do other things. But I found out that on days where I'm just moving, so like when you're cleaning the house, when you're vacuuming, when you're making up your bed, when you're out gardening, those type of things throughout the day give you better results if you're just not sitting around all day. And a lot of people don't know this, that movement produces more results than exercise, because the moving that you're doing, it's making you burn calories, it's lubricating your joints, it's causing improvement with your circulation, it's helping you with your breathing, it's doing all of these things that's getting oxygen to the brain, it's helping your mental capacity. And so when you're consistently doing that all day, this is how you really anti-age. This is how you help longevity. Most of the people who are like the oldest people in the world, most of them are not doing high intensity interval training sessions. These are people who are just moving throughout the day. And remember, our ancestors, they moved a lot. They weren't necessarily doing like squat training with weights and dumbbells and stuff like that. They were chopping wood. They were farming. They were out in the field. They were trying to get their food. They were taking hikes. I mean, they were just on the go. They were moving all day. And that's what kept them so physically fit and so healthy. Now, I will say this. I do believe in building muscle mass, especially as you get older, because if you're over 40 and you're not doing things that's helping to build muscle mass, then you're going to have a huge problem, because muscle mass helps with so many different things, including, of course, your metabolic rate and your immune system and your joints and all of those things that we really need to strengthen as we age. So if you're not doing something like with movement that's involving you to utilize your muscles, then yes, you do need to do some resistance training. You do need to lift weights, because you're going to need those muscles. So, if you're someone chopping wood or you're a farmer and things like that, you are using your muscles to do things. Certain jobs like firefighters, some of them don't ever exercise. They're just doing so much with the job that requires their muscles that they don't have to do that. And so if you find out that all you're doing is kind of like walking and moving like that, then yeah, you're going to need to do some resistance training. But let's say you are a gardener and you are always out in the garden and you're lifting up bags and you're doing things and you're moving things to utilize your muscles. Like when you're cleaning the house, you're lifting up garbage bags, you're taking garbage out, you're moving clothes out the way, you're carrying laundry bags. Like all of that is utilizing your muscles. And so you do want to have movement that involves utilizing your muscles. That's why in the wintertime, my husband would get mad at me because I would be out somewhere, I would disappear and I would go shovel snow, because I knew that this is movement for me. This is a form of exercise that I'm doing in a sense, and being able to pick up heavy snow on a shovel and, move it out the way, it's requiring my muscles. It's like a full body workout for me. And so I utilize the things that I do in life to utilize the movement and the muscles, the natural flow, because really the only reason why you should be lifting weights is to make sure that when you get older, you can lift your grandkids. You need to have muscles to do what life requires you to do. Now, some people are lifting weights for competition and other reasons and body sculpting and stuff. That's fine too. But for just an average person, you only really need to lift weights in a way that allow you to utilize life to your highest quality so that you can do the things you need to do. If you go to the grocery store, you need to be able to carry the bags. So if you can't do stuff like that because you don't have enough muscle mass, then it is going to lower the quality of your life. And that's what this is all about. Is it's about longevity and lifestyle. Now, if you have a job where you're just sitting at your desk all day and you're just working and you can't really get up to move, you need to do something like set your alarm clock every hour and get up and walk around for 5 minutes, go up and down the stairs. You need to get moving, even if you're sitting in meetings and stuff all day. As a matter of fact, when I know that I have long meetings or I'm about to be in a 4-hour Zoom meeting or something, I stand up so that I can move from left to right, so that I have still my mobility and agility to be able to do whatever I need to do while I am on the Zoom meeting. And so if you're going to be on a Zoom meeting that long, don't sit down for no 4 hours straight. Make sure you get up and get moving. And if it is a Zoom meeting where you can not have to be taking notes and things like that, then get on a treadmill and start walking, or take a walk down the block. I was on a Zoom meeting not too long ago and I had my phone and I was taking notes and stuff, but I didn't have to be involved. It was a webinar type of Zoom meeting. And so I actually just walked for 3 hours while I'm on this Zoom meeting, learning and taking notes, just up and down my block, just up and down, up and down. And it's really good if you can get this movement outside and get you some vitamin D. That's always a plus. So you need to find creative ways to make sure that if you are sitting down all day, that you stand up. There's devices now that can let you know, hey, it's time to stretch your legs. It's time to stand up. It's time to get moving. Utilize those devices, because I'm telling you that movement has more of an influence on your metabolic rate, again, than exercise. So that means that your metabolism is more affected by movement, and you will get the best results. I'm telling you the truth. I've been watching this for a very long time, and I've studied who lives long. And it is always a combination of mostly making sure your stress is low and that your nutrition is where it needs to be and that you're moving. Exercise is just a form of that physical activity that you do, and it's more of a focus part. But I'm telling you, especially for those who work out and then do nothing all day, or who sit behind a desk all day, you're not benefiting yourself. And exercise cannot make up for a sedentary lifestyle. You have to get moving. You have to move throughout the day. And it took me a little bit of time to notice this and to learn this as I began to age. But now I prioritize moving. I would rather have a day of constant flow of movement than I would doing exercise and doing nothing. My exercise should just kind of be like the icing on the cake. Like, I exercise today. I do have a little work that I have to do after this, but I'm going to make sure that I'm taking walks throughout the day and I'm getting up and I'm doing what I need to do to not make this day not useful for me. Our bodies are made to move. So you need to know that if that is you, and this is encouraging again, because you do not have to necessarily go and do some boot camp and join a membership and get in your car and go finding out where you need to be and what time and rushing here and there. You don't necessarily have to do all of that, because if you are flowing with movement throughout the day, then exercise is not necessarily required for you to live a long and healthy life. Okay. So I want to encourage you, if you're not somebody who likes to exercise, because it's something about the schedule of exercising that just sometimes turn people off. If you do like exercising and you want to split it up throughout the day, then there's ways to do that. I do that sometimes. If I don't have a focused hour or whatever of exercise, even if I'm watching TV or something, if I'm having a rest day, I will get up. I would do sets of 50 squats and maybe 20 push-ups, and I will maybe run in place, or I will start stretching or whatever. And I will do that every maybe 15 minutes while I'm watching a movie or something. And by the time I'm done, because I've spaced it out, I've probably done more exercising than I would if I had even a focused hour. Sometimes I'll just stretch it out throughout the entire day. Like, I'll just drop down and do 20 or 30 push-ups, or as many as I can at that moment. And then another hour go by, and then I'll do it again. And before you know it, I've done like 300 push-ups and I've done 500 squats, or I've built my cardio up because I maybe did some jumping jacks, and then I've gotten some stretching in, and I just space it out through the day when I'm thinking about it. And so if that's you, if you don't have the time to do it straightforward, but you got a break or something, then do it. Even if you're talking on the phone with your friend, or if you are watching TV, or if you are doing something where you can drop down and do some squats or whatever, take the time that you have to do it instead of scrolling on social media. Or if you are scrolling on social media, do some squats while you're scrolling on social media. Okay. So this is hopefully some tips that can help you to really get your life back on track, because this is very important, because I've talked about this many times before. A sedentary lifestyle causes chronic disease, heart problems, inflammation, a lack of blood flow, a lack of oxygen to the brain. It causes procrastination. It has a lot of negative outcomes to your physical body and your mind and brain. So you want to make sure that you're moving, because you will activate certain hormones when you're moving, as opposed to when you're sitting down and you're sedentary for most of the day. So make sure that you remember that. And don't forget to get a good amount of sleep at night, and that you are getting healthy nutrition into your body. All right. Once again, please do like this video and please subscribe to my page. That is a big thank you. I will continue to get videos out to you, and you will be notified right away if you subscribe. And I am committed to making sure that you live a high quality, healthy, and better lifestyle. See you next time.